So working through the final lap here.
Tell you what, still going at it is Camden Milliken and Camp going down into Loop 270.
Yeah, that one's not over yet. Camden's going to have to execute that section really well if he wants to hold on to second.
And here comes, this should be our leader.
Yeah, it is. The number 11 Yamaha ride coming to the checkered flag for the Altus Motorsports Blue Crew Yamaha ride. That is Kobe Lassar.
Look at this photo finish for second, third, and fourth.
Camden holds it. And look at that. Oliver Camp sneaks up into third on the final lap, pushing Milliken down to fourth.
Yeah, given that option, the VMAX switchback, which we've seen many, many passes through that section. So cool.
And we can't wait to see Kobe Lassar's outlook on this race. So, Dean, we're going to send it down to the podium to talk to our winner.
All right, guys, thank you for that. Shout out to here, Kobe Lassar, the 40 Limited winner. First moto winner out there, doing a great job. Colby, talk to me about that moto. It's a pretty long one, but a pretty good one. How'd it go from your perspective?
It was good. Honestly, I just pushed my heart out. I screwed up on the start, and then I fell second lap, so I had to come from the back, and yeah, I just rode my heart out and was able to get the win.
Definitely did that, man. You rode your heart out, and you have a lot of people you'd like to thank, so go ahead and tell me who those people are.
The whole Altus Motorsport Yamaha team, Donnie, Ed, Jordan, my mom, my dad, my brother, just my whole family, Twin Air, SKDA, Boost, 100%, Monster, Bell, and again, just the whole Yamaha team for everything they do for me.
All right, guys, Kobe Lassar getting it done here in the 40 Limited class.
All right, we're on the way with the Micro Open 4-8. Look like the number 9, a Cade Swartfager with a whole shot here. And we'll get a look at the running order as they make their way through. Looks like the 9 holding the lead. The 17 of Jackson Boyd making the move to second. Yeah, looks at the 594 Callahan Russo in third. And then Cruz Galvin running in the fourth spot. So Micro Open, race 31 out on the track.
Get you an event t-shirt before you go over to the Malcolm Stewart FFF Big Kahuna so you can look fine when you get your prize.
You know, you got to look good if you want to be good.
Hey, image is critical.
That's it. I agree. When it comes to my racing, JP, I was always looking better than I rode.
I can concur with that. You know, I had a practice outfit, practice boots, then I had a first moto 454 of Cruz Galvin out of Norman, Oklahoma.
And the 51, Trip Roberts going to round out the top 5.
Followed by the 56 and Levi Morale.
5.
Followed by the 56 and Levi Morale. 603 of Liam DeLowry out of Plymouth, Maine. Near you. Oh, Mass.
That's right, where the Pilgrims landed.
Is Maine.
Yep. Oh, trust me, I wish I'd have paid more attention in geography myself.
Well, you know, now I honestly realize how important school was. I wasn't a big school guy, but man, geography, world geography, I mean, history, everything to me really means more now to me than I was.
Yep.
I just wanted to ride my go-kart.
I was going to say, yeah. At the time, you're like, yeah, tell me something about it. So Case, Swartfager, Jackson Boyd, Callahan, Russo, Cruz, Galvin, Tripp, Roberts, top 5. Levi Morrell, Liam DeLowry, Nick Black, Carter Colpetzer, and it looks like Lincoln Bray, your rider on the 717, going to round out the top 10. Working through here, that was lap 1. We're working on 2. And the number 9 is Swartfager working on the Gas Alley section. So this is the Micro Open 4-8 Schoolboy 1 next off the gate for race 32. And final moto of the day in staging 85, 10-14. And starting to pick up some battles here, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th.
True. Well, screw that. Speaking of flying, it's the number 9 right now, Kate Swartfager.
Yeah, huh? He's hammering that finish line jump.
2:48.9 lap time. So
Boyd hanging on to 2nd. Pretty good lift off that jump as well.
with a 2:52.6.
And there is the 594. Callahan Russo, attorneys at law. And our leader, when he came over number 6, got way to the inside, almost went down.
I saw there was a reaction, and I should have just stopped and let you pick that up.
No, that's all right, though. I was waiting to see how that was going to play out.
Yeah.
Because that looked like it might have been one of those, like, 10-second long crashes where you swap and back. Is he going to get it? Is he going to? No, he wasn't. But he powered right out of that inside line.
Well, when in doubt, twist it out.
That's it. Our Lady of Blessed Acceleration, don't fail me now.
Well, you know, back when I rode, I knew when I was going to crash. I went, oh, no. And you did 2 things back then because the bikes weren't the same. You either nailed or bailed.
That's it. There's 2 options. All right, looks like you're either going to come up over that FMF power wall again. So, not a bad way to get out of that.
In second place right now, the 17 out of HB, Huntington Beach, California, Jackson Boyd. And the 594 of Callahan Russo.
There he is, Russo hanging a solid 3rd.
Down there trackside, man, just all over this track is Forthright Media, Nick Campbell, getting that image for you. And he's going to be set up right here at the base of the tower till it's done. So you can come down here and check out all the race photos. It's free to come check it out. He's done some very interesting things. He can print on site. He's able to be doing 13 by 19 photos. And he can actually laminate it. That way you can have a protected photo and take home this memory.
Yeah, just a great thing to do something different for the riders there.
And our leader down the gas alley, gasoline alley.
There you go. That's immediately why that popped into my head.
I like it. Kind of reminds me when I grew up in Dallas. In Dallas, in between the houses were concrete alleys. I could ride my GoPro here to Wortham, alleys in Dallas. And nobody back then, nobody really cared.
Nobody cared.
I don't know many cities that are set up like that to actually have concrete alleys. I mean, like about a car and a half wide.
Chicago.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, actually, I was born there, but I left in third grade, so I don't quite.
You didn't do much riding around then.
No. Actually, I was on the swim team.
Oh, there you go. All right, we're going to be looking for your leader to pop over the top of Cemetery Hill here. Looking for the number 9. And it's going to be the white flag this time around. Here he comes over the FMF Powerwall.
Big thanks to Calvin Kinney, doing what he does best down there, keeping everything right and tight.
And a white flag is out.
I think Cage just waved, but he did it so quick we couldn't see it.
Just a little quick look over.
Yeah, great ride by Cade. And of course, second place, Jackson Boyd out of HB, which is Huntington Beach, California.
Yep, got that O'Neill backed ride.
Oh, they're right up the road. Not
That's
too
it.
far.
That's the place you want to go. Callahan Russo, the Dirt Labs, Kirby Moto Works, Gibbs Moto ASV ride hanging on to third. So Cade Schwartzfeger, Jackson Boyd, Callahan Russo, Levi Morrell, Tripp Roberts still running top 5 here. Cruz Galvin, Nick Black 6th and 7th. And we're looking for Liam DeLowry, Carter Kolpetzer, and Lincoln Bray to round out your top 10.
Hey, also another reminder, ladies and gentlemen, please use sunscreen. The sun is out. It's heating up here in Texas. We want to protect you guys, especially for you fair-skinned people, especially like redheads.
Where were you on Monday when I was getting sunburnt there?
I was close to you, but
Yep.
I was over at the podium, and you were actually doing all the work.
Yeah, I got a little bit of red on my drive-in movie theater screen forehead there.
It was classic.
Yeah,
Especially
faded right out though.
Especially
Yeah,
your
back to good.
response.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
I'm like a drive-in screen
Well, you know you got to call him as you see him, JP.
at sunset.
That's it. So winding down the final lap here in the micro open 4 to 8. And again, Schoolboy 1 next off the gate, 85, 10 to 14, final moto of the day in staging. And then you got to break out those fishing poles for the FMF Big Kahuna Fishing Tournament. Malcolm Stewart jersey on the line there for the Big Kahuna. And there is the checkered flag. So Cade Schwartzfeger, Jones and Roman MX 110 Racing, 100% ride, going to take the win. And we'll look for Jackson Boyd on the 17, Callahan Russo, the 594. And that should be second and third. And that's going to do it for the Micro Open 4 to 8. We'll get ready now to talk to our moto winner. Give him a chance to get through impound, pop that helmet off, and talk to Dean. Dean, we'll send it on down to you, sir.
Okay, man, a few words tells me it's hot out here. That was definitely tough out there, man, but you made it happen. Made it happen when you need to. You came away with it. Okay, Sword Figure Man, walk me through that moto, bro. How'd it go?
Pretty good. I got the whole shot. I rode my race and I stayed smart.
Stay smart, rode your race. Did you lead that whole moto?
What?
Did you lead that whole moto?
Yeah.
That's got to be a good feeling, huh?
Yeah.
Who's making you have that good feeling? Who would you like to thank, Cade?
Jones and Roman, Mom, Dad, God for keep me safe, PR2, Dunlop 110, Blood Racing, Mitten, everyone else, thank you.
All right, guys, get over Cade Sword for getting it done. And hey, Mike Jones from Jones Roman MX Tools said to tell you guys what's up in the tower.
All right. Well, here's what's up. Your rider just took the win. So again, Schoolboy 1 getting ready to leave the gate next. Schoolboy 1 getting ready to leave the gate next. So coming out in the Schoolboy 1, the number 60 out of Blue Lake, California, that's Davin Kane.
On the 94 KTM out of Jackson, Wyoming is Leighton Dalebout.
From Menlo Park, California, the 109 Yamaha, Michael Wright.
By the way, of Cypress, Texas, the Blue Crew Yamaha rider, Altus Motorsports. The 129, Get Down, Gage Brown.
On the 214 Yamaha from Colliers, West Virginia, it's going to be Briar Stesick.
By the way, of Cleveland, Texas, on the Yamaha, the 329 at Tennyson Lopez.
And the 727 from Austin, Texas, that's the Yamaha ride of Reed Oring. That's the field lining up in the Schoolboy 1. Two card goes up. And it's going to turn around to 1 sideways now as we get ready to go. And it looks like it's going to be Briar Stesick with the 214 with a whole shot. The Jones and Roman MX School rider getting off the gate to take the whole shot, but it looks like he may give that lead up. And it's going to be Gage Brown. Surprise, said nobody. The Moose MX Tire, Altus Motorsports, Blue Crew Yamaha ride. Gage Brown pushing to the front early.
Get down, Gage Brown, don't mess around.
That's it. It's time to go. He's going to go.
And our leaders go around the Leonard Skinner Oak Tree, down the Rocky Mountain ATV MC drag strip.
Brown all the way at the top of the berm there, using every inch of the track.
A lot of riders love the sand, the new sand section or portion they put right here on 6, because they told me before it was very sketchy. When you come over, it was slick. Putting that sand in there gives you a little bit more traction and safer.
Yeah, and you know what? It just changes the ability of the lines, too. Now you have a little bit more grip. So if you come over that, we saw riders just make aggressive moves on that downhill, and I think you're right. It's that sand that gives you the ability. So it looks like Davin Kane on the 60 going to move to 3rd as they head off down the ski jump.
And hey, for your online listeners and all you YouTubers, when we call you say Loop 270, it's on the downside of the track. It's actually a 270-degree loop.
Yeah, I mean, you go down there and start turning left, and you just keep on turning left like a NASCAR race.
Look at the ruts from just up here.
Oh,
the
man.
ruts are like 15, 16, 18 inches. The PW50s, or not the PW50s, but the regular 50s got 10-inch wheels. It's crazy.
Yeah, they're just barely get through there. So Gage Brown getting through that roller section with no problems out of the Texas 12-pack. He's going to set sail out front. 214 ride of Briar Stesick, the Jones and Roman MX Tire ride. Holding on to that second spot, there's the 60 of Davin Kane, 3rd.
109, Michael Wright, Melno Park, California. Followed by Tennyson Lopez, Cleveland, Texas, a little bit northeast of Houston. And followed by sixth place, the number 94 of Leighton Dalebout out of Jackson, Wyoming.
So Brown charging up that section into the Leonard Skinner Oak Tree turn. He is trying to just get away, run his own race here. This is a 20-minute moto, so he wants to get as big a gap as he can to just kind of roll around through the way he wants to.
You know, there's probably a lot of riders today, young riders, going to sleep very well tonight.
I would say you are accurate on that one, sir.
I mean, doing a 15-minute or 20-minute moto, I mean, normally it's a 4-lap race, and it's, 10 minutes, 11 minutes, 12 minutes.
And this is a whole different animal. You got to go hard for 20 minutes plus one.
Well, it's like in the old days, 45 minutes plus 2.
Oh, yeah, I remember those. I remember watching those motos. And it was just insane to see how long you'd be able to keep that pace. Now, here's the thing, too. You wonder, the speeds were a little bit lower. That's a given because the engines weren't the same. But the suspension was not nearly as forgiving either. So even though you were not going as fast, you were still getting booted around pretty hard on those older bikes.
And track prep?
Yeah, track prep was, all right, throw some water on there. Go.
No. A tractor with box blades or chains. I was at Billadilla, and we had some time, and we were talking about me and my involvement with motorcycling. And I said, yeah, we had the chains, or a box blade, man. You were the stuff.
Oh, yeah, you were.
The guy goes, hey, did you forget about the mattress, box spring mattresses? They take the material off and use the metal box spring to drag.
Yep.
Water truck?
Yeah, water truck was somebody standing on the side with a garden hose.
No, those fire extinguishers, the silver ones that you could refill. So out front, no problem for get down. Gage Brown in a 2:15.3. Second place is Briar Stesick with a 2:23. Gavin Kane in third with a 2:26.
And there's the 109 ride. Michael Wright working through. So clicking off the laps here for the riders in the Schoolboy 1. The Barkin 2 strokes out there. And we're going to have the 85 10-14 next off the gate. Final moto of the day.
And we're about 80 minutes away from the Big Kahuna.
Starting
FFF.
your fishing tournament, brought to you by FMF.
Yeah, and it's always fun. They always come up with some really cool awards down there for the biggest and smallest fish. And it's just a good time to get down there, throw the lines in the pond. There are some big fish in that pond. We've seen them.
Yeah.
So don't think you're going to go down there and just be catching some little guppies. We've seen some big fish and some equally big bullfrogs.
Jeremiah was a bullfrog.
And he did not get caught in the Miller's Big Pond.
No. Yeah.
So the 129, Gage Brown, going to head down the hill here. Just continuing to get it done out front. So Brown, Stesick, Kane, Wright, and Lopez, your top 5 here. Dalebout just outside the top 5.
And your leader through the VMAX switchback. One more time, it is Gage Brown on the 129 Blue Crew Yamaha.
There's the 214 rider, Blair Stesick. So continuing to run a solid performance there on the 214 in the second spot. But just starting to lose time to the leader. Kane continues in his spot.
Hey, also, driving range is open till 10 o'clock every night. You can go over there and hit some balls. and actually have a hole-in-one challenge, bring your own clubs, or they've got some over there you can use. But if you feel like slamming some balls, get on over to the Freestone driving range.
So clicking off the laps here again, this is a 20+1 moto, 20-minute moto. 85, 10 to 14, going to be the final moto of the day. That is also a 20-minute moto. So the riders getting plenty of time out on the track here.
What's cool also about that, you actually get time to experience your bike in all these different kinds of situations, as the track doesn't change drastically every lap, but a little bit every lap, instead of running a quick 4-lap jaunt.
Yeah, and not only that, but I think that, you know, you might train by doing 20-minute motos, but you know as well as I do, race pace and training pace are never really the same. You just can't replicate it.
Yeah.
So this is a chance for them to know, all right, this is how I've got to push myself. This is the pace I need to be able to hold. And I think when you go back and look at your lap times, that's really going to be the tail of the tape. How much did I taper off during the race? Did I maintain my pace, you know, within 2 to 3 seconds? Or did I like fall off 15 seconds on lap number 4?
You know, what is strange sometimes is that these guys, they practice all the time and do this, but they don't go to races and do gate drops. You can practice till the moon is green.
I could not agree more.
You know, but getting out there and, you know, having the camaraderie and just having the experience, that's what you need to do, not this other stuff.
Yeah, I mean, not to knock any training facilities. I think they have their place in the industry. But when you're practicing at a training facility and you're racing the same guys every day, you know what to expect. You get out here and you don't know what to expect.
Well, that's a great point. You know, in the 70s, you know, of course, I moved to Houston, Dallas. The thing with Dallas is they had within a 150-mile radius, 10, 12 tracks. They would, and we're in Houston, we'd have 3, maybe 4. They'd come down and they would just annihilate the Houston riders because they were more diverse by riding different tracks like you were talking
Absolutely.
about.
I really think that you cannot overestimate how important that is. And, you know, I've heard that from people that, you know, talk about how, you know, their kid is a champion on the local 7. You know, they got the #1 plate in a local race. That's great. Now you got to go everywhere else and do that. And that's what you need. You need the ability to adapt to run any track in any conditions. All right, looking for your leader to make his way through the Texas 12 pack here. We're at the halfway point.
Hey, also, ladies and gentlemen, as you notice, the wind is picking up or has been picking up. Keep your eye on the flags. Please secure your canopies, your easy ups.
Yep, put some weight on your kids if they're really light.
And if you got a small dog like a Chihuahua, man.
Yeah, put a leash on that dog. A long one so you can reach up and grab it.
Might be able to put some wings on it and do like those old airplanes that we had.
Yeah, there you go.
You just go like that.
Just zing around like that. 2:14 ride of Briar Stesic has been solid all race long, but unfortunately, Gage.
If they come to our Texas Winter Series, FMF Texas Winter Series
There you
for
go.
27 years.
Yeah, hopefully y'all folks been making your way over to the FMF rig there to say hi to Kyle over there. They had a blowout sale going on. I don't even know what they have left for that because there was some crazy prices that they were giving out. But make sure you stop by, say hi. even if you're not grabbing some swag, just let them know how much you appreciate them being a part of the Freestone track series here, this event as well as the winter series. And really, they've been on board from day one with you guys, and I just can't say enough. But they're a great company, great crew that works their events. You know, just solid people. You know, if you show up at a race and you see Kyle, you see Joel, they're going to be taking care of you if you need it.
And I've been out to their new facility, which is like 80,000 square foot. They do everything except plating there because of EPA. But man, they buy the sheet metal, the sheets of metal. Man, they got these huge stamping machines. Big Donnie loves going to like closeout places, companies, you know, close out, and he finds all these machines.
Yep.
And in the middle of the warehouse, they have the dyno room. They lock him in there for like 10 or 12 hours.
All right, you're in there. Put your gas mask on and run that bike.
They feed him the food through the bottom of the door. You know.
Got a little hatch for a cheeseburger?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, you know what? As they say, the proof is in the pudding, because those pipes, those silencers, they will add horsepower to your bike. No two ways about it. It's going to change the response of the engine, going to give you a little bit more on the low or the high end if you tune it the way you want.
I mean, that's what he does. They actually buy other manufacturers' pipes, you know, and then, of course, the stock. They work to try to get the power curve and increase the power throughout the power range, and it's an amazing process that they do.
But yeah, FMF, the original SoCal company, getting it done for many, many years.
1973.
There you go. But yeah, just make sure you stop up there at the FMF rig, say thanks, say hi, get yourself some FMF swag. If you got some t-shirts and stuff up there still, like I said, I don't know, I know they were blowing them out at a great price. But yeah, make your way around the pits and say hi to all of the vendors, say hi to all the folks that sponsor this event. You know, you've heard us say it, you're going to hear us say it again, FMF, Merge Racing, the folks from MX Tires, HyperX, Stacy over there at HyperX, doing custom jersey lettering as well as all your other apparel needs for any lettering or numbering. 110 Racing, the folks at Flow Vision, Fastco, Shock Socks, the folks from Rocky Mountain ATV MC, and of course Verb Moto with the Prospect app. Tamer Whole Shots, again, there's another person who's always on board, always happy. Great to see Kevin from Tamer over there, and it's just always a good time to talk to him, and I know he's always a positive aspect of the sport. Altus Motorsports and EBR supporting the Yamaha Blue Crew riders, and it's great to have those folks here, Altus Motorsports and EBR. They've been here as long as I've been coming here, probably way before that, so great to have them in the house as always. And then all the folks over in the food court. You know, this is the thing, you come to this big event, do you bring food with you for the whole week? Probably not. You got to have something to eat, and the food court going to help you out. So Little Joe's Lemonade, delicious hand-squeezed lemonade, Paul's Pizza, Big Hal's Barbecue, get over there for the best barbecue sandwich you're going to have. Clutch Coffee, the Taco Lady Holland Coffee Company, and of course Donut Envy. Those are the folks over in the food court, and a bit all day long to keep riders safe.
Yeah, so basically from 7 or 7:15 till it's done, which is today going to be 5:15.
Yeah, and
5:30ish.
You know, it's a hard job because you've got to pay attention all day. You got to make sure you're locked in on watching what goes on. It's not just sitting around and then standing up and waving a flag. You've got to pay attention, and these guys out here do a great job. Just a great flagging crew.
That's why I always emphasize, and I thank each and every one of them. I said, great job today. Thank you. Because with you, with your ability, it can save somebody. That's the most important thing.
Absolutely. I've said it before. You'll hear me say it again. They are the first line of defense.
Very well put.
So clicking off the lap seal, JP, it is Gage Brown, all kinds of gone out front. He's in another zip code. Briar Stesic hanging on a second, Davin Kane, Mike Wright, and Tennyson Lopez through the top 5.
Yep, Gage Brown in a zone of his own. And speaking of that, there's a young man right there through the VMAX switchback, over the finish line, through the James Stewart ski jump section, over the #1 roller.
Yep, continuing to get it done. And time is running down here. We're looking probably at about maybe 2 more laps. as we're getting close to the 20-minute mark. And here is the second place rider rocking through that Texas 12 pack on the 214. Briar Stesick, the Jones and Roman MX Tire, Chris Jones backed ride. There is the 60. So Gavin Kane holding on to that spot. White flag is out. So working down the final lap here for the Schoolboy 1. Gage Brown heading down the gas alley. And Brown with a 1 minute and 15 second gap. All right, your leader going to work through that switchback section, and the checkered flag will fly. So the 129, Altus Motorsports, Donnie Luce, Blue Crew Yamaha backed ride, the Dunlop Moose, 100% Guts Racing Yamaha, Gage Brown with the win. And we're going to go ahead and say Brian Sick, Devin Kane second and third. And we are going to probably have plenty of time for Gage to do his interview down there on the podium before everybody else comes over. So we'll let him pop the helmet off, get over there with Dean, and send it down to the podium.
All right, Don, I appreciate it so much. We're nearing in here. We got one more moto left, but dude, the second to last moto making it happen, like about a minute, 15 minute, 20-second lead. Gage Brown, walk me through that moto. Tell me a little bit about how you do it.
It was a pretty good moto. Got a bad start. I spun. It was super dry on the gate. Then I passed for first quickly, and then I just rode my race home because the track was very slick.
Not about very slick, but you used your technique. You made it happen. Who else is helping you make it happen out there?
My mom, my dad, grandma and papa, Mimi and papa, my aunts, my uncles, my sister, Jordan, Ed from Altus, all the mechanics from Altus, Blue Crew, GYTR, ODI, Monster Mike, Alpine Star, T-Rex Throttles, On Track School, 100%, Bell, and FMF, and everybody else forgot. Thank you so much. Happy birthday, Uncle Mike.
There you go. Give it up to downtown Gage Brown for getting it done out here in this one. Take it away to the towers, boy. The final moto on the track, 85, 10 to 14.
Yeah, it is, and it was the 14 of Landon McBride with the hole shot on the gas ride. We'll see if he can hold on to that front of the pack here as he's got a group of riders coming down that Leonard Skinner Oak Tree turn trying to track him down.
Hey, we need Chase Brennan. Chase Brennan, number 3, to registration. Go see Miss Rhonda. Chase Brennan, please. Number 3, Suzuki.
And it looks at the 26, Nico Verhoeven into second early. And I believe that is the 27 of Chase Brown in third. And it looks like Brendan on the 3 going to move up to third. All right, so down the hill they go, looking to see if Landon McBride can hold off Nick Verhoeven and Chase Brennan.
So another appetizing 20 minutes.
Oh yeah, there's going to be plenty of time for this one to work itself out.
Time now, 5 o'clock, so we'll have plenty of time to get over to the big pond for the Malcolm Stewart FFF Big Kahuna Fishing Tournament. Then directly after that, we're going to have the track breakdown from James Stewart.
All right, Nico Verhoeven making the pass to get into the lead, and Chase Brennan moves to second. So that's going to shuffle the 14 of McBride backwards, and the 27 of Chase Brown will take third. So just like that, McBride drops to fourth.
Yeah, 100 Calvin Hill in the 5th slot.
Jet Rouse 6th, Jackson Wright 7th, Lachlan Tekrib in 8th, Maverick Gresham Lewis 9th, and Chase Karen going to round out your top 10 on the 8:59. And Maverick Gresham Lewis way back off the start there, so we'll see if he can go to work. But I would have expected we'd see Brendan and Verhoeven battling for this one.
Yeah, I think that's happened a couple times already.
Yep, those two look like they are going to be evenly matched at the front. It's going to come down to who can get it done without mistakes.
Yeah, here they come up. The FMF drag strip around the Leonard Skinner Oak Tree.
Yeah, Brennan trying to get close early. He knows he can't let the 26 get away.
All right, so Nico Verhoeven down Gasoline Alley being chased by number 3, Suzuki mounted Chase Brennan, by the way, Winchester, California.
Coming out of that turn, they're both going to get that double on the step. All right, so your leader's coming out of that big Suzuki sweeper back to the top of the hill. Brennan trying to get around the outside to try to put himself inside as they come to the bottom of the next section. He's going to be close. Let's see what it looks like over the top of Cemetery Hill. Verhoeven still hanging on to the lead, but Brennan right there with him. Yeah, different lines in the switchback. Brennan trying to set up the inside here. He's close, but Verhoeven shuts the door.
You know, another deciding factor or factor in this equation is the sun coming down a little bit.
Yeah, that'll get in your eyes as you come over that. It can be a little bit jarring. You know, you go from being in the shadow and looking away to coming around that turn, and all of a sudden it is Mother Nature's flashlight right in your eyes.
Once again, 6 o'clock, we're going to go over to the Big Pond and have the Malcolm Stewart FMF Big Kahuna Fishing Tournament. All kinds of prizes. Of course, the grand prize is going to be a Malcolm Smith jersey. And then directly after that, we're going to go up to the pavilion and have the breakdown of the track by one of the fastest, or the fastest man on the planet, as Roger DeCosta would say, James Stewart.
And not only that, but a guy who can dissect the track, dissect the different sections, and give you an insight into it. It's not just about speed sometimes. It's about knowing where to put your bike, knowing what to expect. That's how he got that speed. But even if you're not going to be that fast, you're going to benefit from all of his insight.
All right, your leader on to number 3 out of Winchester, California, Suzuki mounted. Chase Brennan is our leader.
You saw him give a little look over the shoulder when he came over to the finish, trying to figure out how close or far it was. So don't forget, we're on the final moto of the day today at 6 o'clock. It is lines in the water for the Malcolm Stewart FMF Big Kahuna Fishing Tournament. Should be about 6:45 that we head over to the pavilion and do the track breakdown with James. So again, 6 o'clock, lines in the water for the FMF Big Kahuna Fishing Tournament with Malcolm Stewart. And then 6:45, we're looking to get the track breakdown going with James Stewart under the pavilion. So that's the schedule as it looks. Like the 52 of Parsons there. Parsons on the 52 going down in the 12-pack, back up on his feet. Always good to see that.
Well, we've got Brennan out front, Veerhoven in second.
Yeah, we're at the halfway point, Shan.
Maverick Gresham Lewis back there in sixth. Jackson Wright falls back to seventh. Landon McBride is going to drop back to eighth. And as JP and Donovan alluded to, we've got a 6 p.m. FMF Big Kahuna Fishing Tournament over the Big Pond. 6:45 will be the James Stewart Freestone Championship track breakdown at the Pavilion. That'll start at 6:45. So, Don, I anticipate we'll fish from 6 to 6:30, wrap up the awards, and then everybody can head over to the Pavilion. So we want everybody to be over at the Pavilion at 6:45 if you want to hear from James Stewart on how to break down this track.
And trust me, if you're a rider, you want to hear that from James Stewart because he's going to give you some insight you will not get anywhere else.
You know, Don, earlier I was over there talking to James. It was off microphone. We were just having personal conversations. And I said, James, what do you think your favorite track was on the national circuit, your motocross track? And he said Budds Creek would probably be right there at the very top. And he smiled and he goes, but, I really like this Freestone track too. So that was pretty cool,
Hey, he had a lot of good luck here at Freestone. He had a lot of good finishes, and there was some epic rides for sure.
2008 and 2012 winner.
Yeah, but that's to me, it's like for a guy that has had that much success at that many places, like how do you narrow it down?
Yeah.
And I think it comes down to where you had fun.
Sure. He thought about it for a while, and I threw out names, Millville, Glen Helen, Redbud, and he goes, I think probably Budds Creek. He goes, I think that might have been my favorite, and then he smiled and he goes, but, I really like this Freestone track, too. I had a lot of good results here and a lot of fun. So that was just cool to hear. So we're talking about breaking down the track, and he absolutely decimated this track and had that one big battle in 2012 with Ryan Dungey that you can see those reels and YouTube clips on Texas Berm and any YouTube channel. But, man, oh man, we're getting near that point. 6:45 will be the track breakdown at the Pavilion.
I'll tell you what, my wife can tell when I'm watching a race that's really intense. And that race with him and Dungey, now her and I weren't together at the time, but what I will do is just not be able to sit down. I will go from sitting on the couch to literally standing 2 feet from the screen, going back and forth, going, all right, come on. And that race, I was doing that the whole time. I mean, it is just... That was an epic race, really was. Start to finish, too. Like, they never gave each other any an inch.
Yep. I talked to him also about the 2013 or 14 year at Millville with Trey Kennard, Ryan Dungey, and James Stewart, that three-way battle all the way to the checkered. He just had a big smile on his face, reliving those glory days.
Yeah, and like he was saying, he gets to look back at it with kind of a different lens now. Oh, Verhoeven goes off the track.
Wow, no harm, no foul.
So Verhoeven goes off the track, gets back on safely.
Brennan Veerhoven, Chase Brown, Talon Hill, and Jet Rao out of Big Sky, Montana. Your top five right now. Maverick Gresham Lewis there in sixth. Jackson Wright in seventh. Landon McBride in eighth. Adrian Hopkins Shocklowitz in ninth position. Liam Levering out of Bastrop, Texas rounds out your top 10. And it's Chance Churon in 11th. Luca Tigbury in 12th position. He's going to drop back to 14th. And Akiro Miwa slides up to 11th. With Austin Bolts out of Jonestown, Pennsylvania, comfortably in 13th place, Don.
Yep. Plenty of fast riders out here, but right now it's Chase Brennan with the top spot.
Colt Waldberger back in 16th position. Hudson Workman in 15th. And how about that Suzuki of Chase Brennan of Winchester, California. It is great to see these Suzukis running.
I got to tell you, my personal experience with that RM85 was nothing but good when my son was racing. That bike was bulletproof. Like, I don't think we ever... We have an award in New England, what we do for riders who start and finish every moto, called the Ironman Award. And he, 3 years in a row, never had a breakdown, never went off, never had a DNF. That bike was, like I say, just an amazing bike. We had nothing but good luck on that.
sure makes a wallet and a Moto Dad mindset a lot more comfortable.
You're not kidding. Because we had one bike.
Yeah.
So that one had to work all the time.
Were you a pretty good mechanic, changing clutch plates and piston rings, Don, or did you leave that up to the professionals?
Oh, no.
Okay.
No, I would change the crap out of oil and filters and make sure that was all clean.
Yeah.
But when it came to the mechanical stuff inside the engine, we had a sponsor for that.
There you go.
Pete Cycle and Sled hooked us up for many years. Pete Collins was a great guy, a great friend, an amazing mechanic. Unfortunately, no longer with us, but the 24 will stay in our hearts forever.
Yeah, one more reminder here. Fort Wright Media is going to be set up down near the results board at the base of the Stasic registration tower. And he'll have 13 by 19 prints. He's going to be there all night printing images. So be sure and come down and see him when you're checking your results. Look through the images. Let him print you a 13 by 19 inch photo for your memory bank to take home. As Don has talked about the last couple of days, there's nothing like taking home an actual print photo in your hand. Takes a look back over his shoulder, too.
Yep, Verhoeven's there, but he's not that much closer this time around. He's going to lose a little bit that time. As you see there, Shan, 221 for Brennan, 222 for Verhoeven. And it's just going to keep adding up to a gap.
He's going to capitalize on a Brennan mistake if Brennan were to have one, but doesn't look like he's going to be strong enough to push up and force a lead change.
I think he's going to have to count on something like that because Chase Brennan, you know, he's running a good pace. He's got that bike under him, and I know he's comfortable on that bike. He's been on Suzuki for a long time. Chase Brown, Jet Rao now third and fourth, and they are continuing that battle. Rao closes up a little on that gap.
And we want to remind everybody, sight laps tomorrow at 7:10, and then the first moto to the gate. And we'll have pro practice tomorrow at 8 a.m. Pro practice tomorrow at 8 a.m. So 7:10 sight laps. 7:10 sight laps. We'll need all flaggers to their flag stands tomorrow by 7 a.m.
Yep, that'll be
7:10 sight laps. And then we'll have two more sight laps at 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. just like we did today. But pro practice will be tomorrow morning at 8 a.m.
Yeah, and that's a time practice, so make sure you get that in there. And Jet Rao now closes up on Chase Brown. The 27 going to deal with the 722.
Yeah. Yeah, Don, and I suspect we should be seeing the white flag any minute now, getting near that 20-minute mark.
Indeed.
But is Jet Rao going to make the pass on Chase Brown? That is the big question here.
Yeah, right now that's the battle on the track.
There was a half of a second, 0.5 second between Rao and Brown.
Yep, coming into the Leonard Skinner Oak Tree turn.
Got about a second gap now, so Brown has opened up a half of a second lead over, 1 second lead over Jet Rao. But it's that yo-yo effect we talked about. Rao may have some great parts on the track where he really accelerates, and Brown may have parts of the opposite side of the track where he accelerates, where they just separate back and forth.
And we are going to see the white flag. I see it in hand.
So we will wrap this up and make our way over at 6 p.m. to the Big Pond for the Malcolm Stewart FMF Big Kahuna Fishing Tournament.
Yeah, you guys can head over there and do a little preview fishing now, but you don't catch anything that's going to count now. You got to wait till 6 o'clock for lines in the water. And now there's the white flag for the number 3 ride of Chase Brennan.
And Lex Clark will be over there on behalf of Kyle Dangler. Kyle Dangler had to drive back to Fort Worth. So Lex Clark will be helping out run the FMF Big Kahuna Fishing Tournament. She's also over there running the rig, too. So if you need pipes or springs or anything, go see Lex Clark over there. She is dialed in on all the components.
2 cards. She's working FMF. She's doing the fishing tournament. That's a versatile young woman.
She's got her barcode scanner ready to scan the label. That's right.
She is versatile, friendly, outgoing, and personal.
That's right.
All right, so looking for the number 3 of Brennan to work through here on the final lap.
Yeah, the white flag is waving, and Jet Rao has closed in here on Chase Brown. It's still Veerhoven. How about Maverick Gresham Lewis quietly back there in 5th, the 914 out of Yuba City, California, aboard the Yamaha.
Yeah, he did some work to get there.
So here is the rundown. Brennan, Veerhoven, Brown, Rao, Gresham Lewis, Talon Hill in 6th, Jackson Wright in 7th, Landon McBride in 8th position, Liam Levering in 9th, Adrian Hopkins, Shalkowitz in 10th, just outside your top 10. Sharon, Miwa, Bolts, Workman, Waldberger rounds out your top 15 with Brody Carter in 16th.
And look at the 26 coming back towards us. Veerhoven is way off the pace.
Yeah, something is wrong with his
crawling.
machine. Something is way wrong with his bike.
Will Chase Brown catch him and take that second spot?
It's going to be a motor or clutch issue because both tires have air. His shock looks okay. His forks look okay. Wow. And check it out. Here comes Chase Brown and Jet Rao into the shock sock sweeper. They are going to definitely catch Nico Veerhoven.
This is going to have championship implications.
And they will catch Veerhoven down in the Suzuki sweeper if my calculations are correct, Don.
I think you are.
Heartbreak situation here as Veerhoven just trying to limp his KTM off the brake ski jump into the Loop 270, the Valley of Love, and here comes the pressure from 3rd and 4th. Brown and Rao all over each other with Gresham Lewis back there in 5th.
Checkered flag for the number 3 of Chase Brennan, but the big story now is Nico Veerhoven with bike trouble, it looks like, and he is going to be struggling to hold on to that second spot. I don't think he's going to do it.
Don, I got the binoculars on him. Both tires had air. The shock looked okay. The forks looked okay, and he is just limping a weak motor along. We have not seen coolant burning off. So
it's got to be clutch. So waiting for the second place rider to come around, and we'll see how this happens. He is barely able to make it up the hill. Jet Rao gets past him, and Rao has moved to 2nd.
Wow, what a charge by Jet Rao at a Big Sky, Montana.
He's going to take 2nd. It'll be the 27 ride of Brown 3rd, Maverick Gresham Lewis 4th, and down all the way to 5th. Wow. The 26 of Nico Veerhoven.
Let's take a look at that motorcycle.
What the heck happened? Hopefully.
Hey, it kind of looks like he's hanging his leg off the side of the bike, so he might have hurt himself.
Oh, did you see that? I didn't see that.
Yeah, holding his leg off the bike. You're absolutely right, Dean. He was holding his leg off the bike. Dean, we're going to send it down to you to the podium with our moto winner here, Chase Brennan. Congratulations.
No, guys, there's like a rear flat tire. Just to update you on that one. That's what happened to Verhoeven. But, man, the man on a mission, making it happen. Sun setting on you. Had to be kind of difficult there going into those shadows, huh?
Yeah, I got like dead last off the start. My foot got stuck under the peg, but got up early and passed for the lead on like the second lap and just holding my race from there.
Yeah, no about it, man. The long motos kind of paid off, didn't it?
Yes, sir.
All right, I know you got a lot of people think. I know you want to get rested up. Tell me who you'd like to thank, and I'll let you go.
Mom, Dad, BC Goggles, Suzuki, Dakota Gardner, T-Rex Throttle, Pro Circuit, Arm Army, 60, BC Goggles. Yeah.
All right, guys, give it up to Chase Brennan, 85-10-14, the last moto winner of today. Guys, go ahead and give an update up in the tower.
All right, thank you, Dean. Well, there you go. So flat rear tire, tough break for Nico Verhoeven. He's going to drop back to 5th all the way through the race program today. And so tomorrow morning we will